Hello and welcome to Joburg Today. I am Nashina Mohammed. It's great to have you with us. South Africa's first CEO Sleep Out charity initiative seems to be well on its way. 200 CEOs have already signed up for the event, which will take place in 10 days from now in Sandton.
I'm joined by Station Manager of 702, Paladi Gwangwa, as well as partner at Adam & Adams, Darren Olivier. Welcome to Joburg Today.
Thank you.
So this initiative really melted my heart because it's making business people accountable to the people of Joburg. But tell us a bit about why 702 got involved in bringing it to South Africa.
So the CEO Sleep Out was brought to South Africa by a woman named Ali Greg of Ali Greg PR. She is a South African who'd lived in Australia, in Sydney, and had seen this initiative and was quite moved by it, not just by the business people who were raising funds for the homeless, but by the impact that the Sleep Out had on those CEOs, because it was found that they had a lot more empathy after sleeping out in the cold. So when they brought it to us, we immediately jumped onto the bandwagon because that's the kind of values that we subscribe to.
What is the process in actually bringing it to South Africa? If you could just tell us a bit about that.
So it had to be licensed, and that's why we have Adam & Adam here. They did the wonderful work of licensing it for us in South Africa.
Perfect. Tell us a bit about Adam & Adam's role in the initiative itself. I know that you guys are partaking. Tell us a bit about your involvement.
We were lucky enough to get involved right at the outset, and she then later approached us to become a key sponsor and partner of the event, which we were delighted to do. And also the whole concept is amazing. You know, you have people who dress in pink and in ties now having to understand what it's like, even just for a night, what it's like to be an homeless individual or a person who doesn't have those opportunities. And I think that has really resonated within our firm. There's a lot of support. We are going to be approaching clients to support us, and we're actually looking forward to the event, although there's also a bit of apprehension, I must say.
So Sandton is a unique and quite interesting place to have this event take place. Why Sandton?
I think for two main reasons. One, we are sleeping outside, just outside the JSE. So Sandton is, the economic capital or the economic hub, not just of South Africa, but of the continent.
Yes.
And it is quite significant that you have CEOs who go through those doors during the day, coming back later at night to sleep on the street.
Wow.
So just the contrast itself is very important, but also because it's the first time that we're doing it in South Africa. And, we have CEOs, people who are used to certain comforts. So the criticism that we have had is that, but nobody sleeps outside the JSE when they are homeless. They sleep under bridges.
Yes.
So we had to bring them to a place where they would still be exposed to the harsh elements, but they will still be comfortable because, it would be safe.
I heard that it's going to be on the 18th of June, which is anticipated to be one of the coldest nights in Joburg. How are people preparing? I've heard talks of onesies and blankets and all that. How are you preparing for the evening itself?
Well, it certainly will be the longest evening, and I think it's from 6 until 6, is that right?
Yes.
There is internally, and I would say I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but internally a lot of debate about how we actually get out there and do it, and also maybe make it harder on ourselves by making it a little bit more, maybe giving up some comforts, and I don't want to say too much more than that. But there is, it's interesting. It's the first time many of us have even thought about it, and so it's been a lot of talk internally.
And I think it's important for people to know that when the CEOs sign up at 6 p.m.,
yes,
all they'll get is a cup of soup and a roll.
Oh, wow.
Because even for homeless people, some of them don't even get to have that.
That's a luxury.
So we really want them to get to understand what it's like to sleep on the street.
Of course, I must ask you just about the money that will be collected from this initiative, the charity that you are involved in. Tell us a bit about that and how the money will be used, if you know.
Okay, so the money will be deposited directly into the bank account of Girls and Boys Town. We chose this particular charity because we were looking for 4 pillars when we went about this project. They provide shelter, nutrition, healthcare, and education. And this is a charity that was recommended by UNICEF to say that they embody those.
For any CEO that's watching this interview and says, I have to get involved, can they still get involved, and how do they do so?
Yes, they can still get involved. We will be enrolling CEOs right up until we sleep on the 18th. So they can go onto the CEO Sleep Out website, or they can go onto the 702 website. There's information there for them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for both joining us.
Thank
Super.
you.
Thanks very much.
How's it? My name's Matt Moore, and you're watching Joburg Today.
Like us on Facebook, joburgtoday.tv. Follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today. And if you're a person that's on the move, well, you can catch us on pockettv.mobi. That's Pocket with an I. Reports about alleged bribes within the ranks of international soccer body FIFA may currently be dominating global headlines, but the legacy of the 2010 World Cup is not all bad. Many soccer memories were created in the FNB Stadium.
At the outset, we never got a brief of what the stadium should look like, except to say we were asked to make it iconic. The idea that this object would represent the whole of Africa, would represent people coming together, and would represent a kind of melting pot of Africa, of South Africa, and also of Johannesburg. The idea of the calabash was a really simple idea of one of my graphics people that was playing with a circular object, and I said to her, why don't you put a kind of generic African pattern onto that object? And that's the one that got picked. After that, we kind of said to ourselves, oh hell, how do we make this? Because it was really just a simple idea. We still had to figure out how to make it and how to detail it, and that then became a very detailed design process and conceptualizing of how we could make it, what kind of materials we could make it from. It was an iterative process that took months for us to figure out, and actually took us years through the building process. I think the very first event is the one that really sticks in my mind as being significant. The way people were just absolutely overjoyed at being there, at enjoying the event, and enjoying the building itself, and to see how people were moving around the stadium the way we had anticipated, in fact enjoying it even more than what we had anticipated, was absolutely the crowning moment for us.
This is Simpiwa Mini. You are watching Joburg Today.
And now something for the taste buds. According to South Africa's Eat Out Food Guide, Johannesburg has a thriving restaurant scene. One such eatery that's attracting a lot of attention is 191 at the Hyatt Hotel.
Joburg is, it's different sort of clientele, but food's very important to the Joburger. It's a very big social talking point. Food is a big social point, and it's a social gathering. People like to get out and enjoy it.
I wouldn't say our menu is over the top, but it's got really lovely flavors. Definitely, we've spent a lot of time working on those flavors, and then the presentations, lovely, fresh, colorful, and the menu itself is very easygoing. People can come through and really find there's a taste for everyone on the menu itself. We have tea smoked salmon, which we do home smoked. It's got an amazing flavor. You really get the rooibos tea out of it, and that's distinctly South African. And we add it to a very good quality salmon, and all of that together makes for an amazing starter.
So we try to actually do our cuisine for both the business and the leisure. From the outside in the surrounding area, as the hotel situated in Rosebank and Sandton, let's put it like that, we would like to get people from the business group. So people can come for lunch, have meetings, and have the lunch, and in the evening as well.
People enjoy the fact that they can see you cook. There's a level of showmanship as well involved, and I think it's really made us as a team step up a lot.
One thing you are going to experience if you come to 191 here at the Hyatt in Rosebank is genuine food, good flavors, good service.
How's it? This is Dominic Oliver, and you're watching Joburg Today.
And that brings us to the end of the show today. For more coverage on the city, check out our playlist. That's it from me, Nashina. I leave you with Just Ginger, Bright Lights.
Back in ETV.
You can only find the great white light when you're not looking, and you should only look when you're willing to see what's surrounding you. Please come on, don't look away, it'll all come back to haunt you. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to believe in you. You can take control again. You can be the change, my friend, when you see through who you are. You can have it all. You can become whole again. You know that's what you need. You know that's what you want. And yet you find another baby. You can wait patiently, and you will see there is love in your heart. Come on, don't look away, it'll all come back to haunt you. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to believe in you. You can take control again. You can be the change, my friend, if you see through who you are. You can have it all. You can become whole again. You know that's what you need. You know that's what you want. You know that's what you are. You can take control again when you see through who you are.